Hello and welcome to M11S Melee Walkthrough. If you haven't seen my videos before, this is not a full-on guide going over every little detail. This is a melee walkthrough where I'm going to talk about what you think about as a melee. That being said, a lot of the mechanics here are kind of role agnostic, so it might be helpful to a lot of people. I'm going to be melee 2 for this example, and the last mechanic of the fight, I'm going to talk a little bit about it because I think the strategy is going to change, but it's still rather early, so we'll see. Anyway, I really like this fight. The fight is not super complicated for the most part, but it's very fast. It's very fast for a not last fight at the tier. Crown of the Arcadians, just a raid wide, just does damage. And then he's going to pull out a weapon with raw steel trophy. And you can see the shape of the weapon already. What color should I use? Yellow? It's an axe. Axe is going to be spread as a melee. You can just go to your clock position. Everyone else has set spread spots. This is an average length fight, but it feels short because everything just happens really quick. It's a super fun fight. I like it a lot. Alright, so he's going to take out 3 different types of weapons. There's going to be a sword, an axe, and a scythe. He's going to face, see he's looking at the sword. Okay? The sword is going to do a plus-shaped AoE based on where the boss is facing. So it's all boss relative. While that goes out, there's going to be a light party stack that goes out at the same time. So light party 1 is going to go here. Light party 2 is going to go here. And there's going to be a plus-sized AoE like that. Boss relative. So I'm melee 2, so I go to the right. He's got to jump to the weapon. And you can see the plus and the light party. Okay? Now, this first one, it's always going to go clockwise. So I just looked behind me. And this is an axe, okay? An axe is just going to be a point-blank AoE on the boss and a full party stack. So we can just go middle. And I'll have you figure out your uptime on your own. So full party stack in the middle, and then this is a scythe. A scythe is going to be a donut, so we have to go to the scythe. And it's going to be Proteans, so we're going to need to spread in our clock positions relative to where the boss is facing. So the boss is going to be going this way. So the boss is going to be facing that way. So my clock position is going to be right here because I'm melee 2. If I was melee 1, it'd be there. You have more time than you think to do this. The first time you do it, it's going to seem really fast. And we have our spread. Super fun fight. Okay, he's going to summon more weapons, and the whole party is just going to stack north. He's going to cast Void Stardust. This is just going to be AoEs dropped on everybody that explode after a second. So we're just going to rotate clockwise. This is going to happen 3 times. So wait for it. 1, 2, 3. And then he's going to do one of 2 things. Either full party stack or full party spread. If it was full party spread, we would go to our just our clock position. So melee 1 would be right here, melee 2 would be right there. But we've got an easier one now. It's stack. Whatever the opposite one is will happen later. And you can also look. The stack just ended, and he's already looking at the new weapon. So here we have the sword. Relative to that, we're on the right, so we got to move all the way over here. Because the sword is a plus and light party stack. Okay, he's still going clockwise. So we got a scythe, which is going to be a donut, and a clock's positions for Protean. And then we got the axe, which is just a point-blank AoE on the axe and a full party stack outside of it. I'm playing it pretty safe. And then we got more Stardust. So same thing here. We're just going to start somewhere around here and go clockwise. It's going to happen 3 times, and then whatever wasn't happening in the last one is going to happen this time. So last one was a full party stack. This time will be a full party spread. And we're going to dodge this boss relative. So I go to the right, although it looks like you can just use your eyes too. Some people always be ready to adjust is basically it. Alright, Dance of Domination. The boss is going to bring out a sword, do some AoEs, and the boss is going to put lines on the ground. Let's wait for the lines. Okay. So, you can't see it right now, but what you're looking at is, let me change colors to blue. This line, and this line, okay? It's always going to be in a horseshoe shape. You can't see it, but behind me, there is no line, okay? So, wherever this line is in relation to these 2 lines, that's going to be relative north. Or you can think of it like where there is no line, it's going to be relative south, whatever's easier for your brain. Since we're melee 2, we're going to go to the right. If you're melee 1, you go to the left. We're using these markers, the safe spot is about here. And you are still in melee range. So you can still melee the boss. It's pretty tight, but you can do it. And that's that mechanic. It's very quick. Another raw steel trophy. Whatever he didn't do in the beginning, he'll do here. So you can see he has a scythe. A scythe, he's just going to do a cone on the party, so just stand directly behind him. Tanks do tank stuff. And then he's going to bring everyone's health to 1. That's why there's no healing going out. And then the 3 weapons that we had in the beginning, we're just going to do them twice in a random order. And now this, so far, has always been, let me go to yellow, has always been clockwise. This can be random, so you have to look at where the next one spawns. So it's either clockwise or counterclockwise, pay attention. And we know that this is a scythe, so it's donut and spread in your clock position. It looks like we're still going clockwise here. That's an axe, so go center and party stack. That's a sword, so go to the right if you're melee 2, left if you're melee 1. Another scythe. Donut and spread. Another axe, middle and stack. Another sword. Left and right, depending on which melee you are. And then he's always going to end north. That's the last one. Okay, so he's gonna do 6 weapons. The last one's always going to be north. And then he's going to come center. And you notice that there's these... there are these tornadoes. These tornadoes are going to do... they're going to cleave the 2 closest people to it. We have to aim it out. So the melee, as you're looking in, will always be on the right as you're looking in. This is melee 2. Melee 1 would be D. You can think of like your clock is here. This is my clock position. It's just clockwise from your clock. So I'm going to aim the cone away from the group. And as soon as the cone goes out, you can go through the tornado. One and only is just a hard-hitting raid-wide AoE. And we're finally done with the weapons portion of the fight. Now we got new mechanics. Great Wall of Fire. Let's use blue now. Great Wall of Fire. Whoa. Is just tank stuff. Like a laser that hits once then explodes. I think they just invuln it. And then another one happens. Yeah, looks like they're just invulning it. And now, this mechanic. Orbital Omen is very fast. It was very frustrating for me at first to get it. The most common strategy you see for uptime is what I'm going to show you here. Hopefully it's a good example. I forget this. So Orbital Omen's going to cast, and you're going to see these portals kind of spawn. Portals are going to do a line, okay, and they're gonna shoot lasers in that line in the order that the portals spawn. However, there's something else going on. Okay, at the same time as the first portals fire, the boss is also going to do a cone behind and a cone in front. Okay, so you have to be in the sides of the boss and dodge the first ones, and then dodge whatever comes after. There's a trick to this. All right, the trick is look for the second portal lasers that spawn. Let's watch. So these lasers is number one. That's the first portals. They're going to go out at the same time as the cleave. Look for the second lasers. Okay. The second lasers will always be in melee range of the boss. Okay? So here's the trick that will solve every single one of them, and there's a ton of videos of people talking about this. You can find multiple examples of it. But you want to go to the second portals, because it's always in melee range, and wait for the first one to go off, move into the first one, wait for the second one to go off, move into the second one, while also dodging the boss's cleave as well. So let's slow this down, okay? Okay. So this is the second one. So we're standing in the second one, and here's the cast. At the same time as the cast goes off, the first lasers are going to go off. Now remember, the boss is also going to do a cleave forward and a cleave backward. So the safe spot is closer to this. Let me use a different color. The safe spot is closer to this line here, okay? And you can think of this as hitting the boss's 4 quadrants right dead center. So we're in the second safe spot. We know we're not going to hit by anything in the first one. You pop sprint, and then go diagonally to where the first one just went off, and then come immediately back after the second one goes off. Don't hesitate, go really fast. Okay, here we go. As soon as this cast goes off, we move diagonally. Move, wait for the second, then move. And that's the whole mechanic. It looks really easy, but the snapshot is super quick. So you're probably going to get hit by this a few times while you're trying to get a hold of it. There are different combinations of lasers. It's even easier. Sometimes the first laser isn't even in melee range. And you can just look at the second one, which is always in melee range, go opposite that and go into it. It's up to you. But what I just demonstrated just now will work on every combination. If you get hit by 1, it gives you a damage down. If you get by 2, it kills you. Okay, next. Meteor Rain. Meteor Rain is going to target the 2 closest people with a meteor on their head. Us as melee are going to be first, so we get the easy jobs, okay? Once you get the meteor, melee 1 is going to go right here. That's going to be northeast. Melee 2 is going to go right there, which is southwest. And we're going to drop our meteors, like, basically right on the edge of his hitbox. So we're the closest ones. We get our prey marker on our head, and just sit there until it goes away. And we drop a meteor. Now, us as melee 2, we have to join the group, but we can't go through the center because the next people in line are going to get meteors, and we don't want to bait, because remember, it targets the closest people. So go around the hitbox and join the party. If you're melee 1, you're already there. Okay, so you're going to hide behind the meteor for this party stack, and then just move to the other meteor. This is going to happen repeatedly. Hide behind the meteor. Tanks are going to take the tethers. It doesn't cleave. And a third time. Hide behind the meteor. And then, remember the meteor that we dropped? We dropped this first one, right? There's a second one here, and then there's another third one up there. Because we need to be behind 3 meteors to live through the next part. Right now, because people's gear isn't very good, the DPS check to this fight is very tight. Especially in Party Finder, where you're just playing with random people, like I am. Notice the LB gauge is full. This is a good time to LB. So, I'm going to LB. And then I'm going to hightail it behind the meteors. Get behind the meteors. And then there's going to be arena split. So here's A. I'm melee 2, so I'm on the right. Melee 1 would be on the left. This is the first real wall I had in Party Finder, was this mechanic here. It's called arena split. You can be in this AoE, it's just going to knock you back. It doesn't do any extra damage. This is the second pot window. And now notice we're in an order. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. The exact order doesn't matter. You just need to know that the 2 people closest to a tower that's about to spawn, that they're going to go in that direction. But usually as melee, you're third in line from the left. Okay, so we're going to do Kindred Nobody strat for this. So a lot of things are going to happen. But as long as we follow a few simple rules, it's very simple. Okay? So first, you notice the arena is split, and there are these towers here that will knock you back, just like in normal mode. You did this in normal mode when you unlocked the raid. You only get knocked back to the other side if you have to stretch this tether. Okay? So you can see whoever my partner is over here, their tether is on their side, so they're going to get knocked back to the other side. That's the only time you're going to go to the other side until the end of the mechanic. Okay? So since we don't have a tether, we stay on this side. So instead, we're going to get knocked back to the same side we're on. Luckily, there's these little circles you can stand on that'll tell you exactly where to stand. So we don't have a tether, we don't have to move sides, so we don't move sides. Okay. So now, we're here. So if you have a tether, which we don't, but if you have a tether, stay max melee range. If you don't have a tether, get as close as you can. Okay? The 4 closest people will get a, will bait a laser on them later. So we get close because we don't have a tether. As soon as we get this thing in our head, we're going to go complete center. We just came from the left, so we're going to return to the left. We're going to drop 3 puddles. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Okay. Now, if you have a tether, like this person, you're going to go to the side. If you don't have a tether, instead you have this little prey marker, you're going to go on this marker. These markers are outside markers, which means the safe spot is going to be on the outside of the marker on the corner right here, or right there. The safe one is the corner far away from that line. Okay? So, and if you're wondering about where the tether goes, imagine there's a line from that corner that goes to the wall. That's where you're going to stand. I'm going to wait. Everything goes off at once, and that's fine. Okay? Now, in Party Finder... hold on. In Party Finder, I'm going to say this. I was confused by this because I wasn't entirely sure what Party Finder meant at first. There's 2 popular markers. These are outside markers. So if you look at this square, the outside corners are going to be the 2 safe spots. There are also what people are calling inner markers. Okay? Inner markers are inside the marker in the middle, either there or there. Ask before you pull if your group has inner or outer markers, because it will wipe you if you don't move. Okay, now, we just came from this side, so we're going to return to the same side we came from when it's time to soak this tower. And we're just going to repeat the whole mechanic now. Okay? So, if we take a look, we have a tether from the other side, which means we don't have to switch sides because we have to stretch our tether, and we're going to stay on this side. I'm just waiting for the meteor to come down. Meteor's coming down. I'm staying on this side. And I use this opportunity to look at which portal I'm tethered to. You want to cross your tether. You want to stretch your tether as much as possible. So since this portal that I'm tethered to is on the left, I'm going to need to end on the right. Okay, now again, repeating everything. So I have a tether, so I'm staying max melee range. The two people who don't have a tether go as close to the boss as possible. They get their thing, and then I can join them. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now we see that there's a laser here. So the safe spot is going to be this corner, or if I'm a tether, in line with that corner on the wall. So I'm away from that laser. And that's the hard part. Okay? We take this stack. Also, keep in mind, we came from this side. So in a second, we're going to return to the same side we came from. Almost done here. Okay? The boss is going to start casting Arcadian Avalanche, and he's going to face one of the platforms. This is the same as normal mode. So the platform that he's facing, he's going to pick up, and everyone on that platform is going to die. So we're on the same we're on the safe platform, so we're going to stay on this platform. We're going to knocked to the same platform. We're almost done with this phase. Okay, and then look at his feet. His feet are pointing this way. We want to go the opposite way as his feet. My uptime sucked in this pull. This is a horrible pull for me. Ignore my awful my awful play. Crown is just an AoE. And then we're back here. And here we have some repeat mechanics. He's going to do more tank stuff. This is the same tank stuff as before. Just get behind the boss. They're probably going to... I think they're sharing this one, so they have their invulns for later. And then another Orbital Omen. This is exactly the same as the second one. So let's break it down again. Okay, this one's easy. So the first portals are way in the corner. We can just ignore them. Okay? Always look for the second portals. Boom, there's the second portal, always on the boss. So here's the second one. So I can just go opposite, and then as soon as the second portals go off, go diagonally. Okay? So remember, the boss is also doing their forward and backward cleave. So you gotta dodge that too. So be more to the side and opposite. Always pop sprint for this. Wait for the second one. Boom, go into it. Oh, someone died. Someone got a damage down too. That's a big deal because the damage check for this is pretty tight right now. It'll get better as the weeks go by. All right, Ecliptic Stampede. The strategy we're using in this video is a week 1 strategy. There is a better strategy out there. The better strategy has melee uptime, and considering the damage check is hard, it's just better. It's just better in every way. if you're looking for the better strategy that has not gotten popular yet in Party Finder, but I bet it will, look up a raid plan for what's called Fixed Stampede. Okay? I'll mention it as we go along, but this is going to be not that. So the early strat for this, we're going to start middle, and ranged are going to do range things. We don't have to worry about that. We're just going to stay middle. Directly center, there's going to be 6 puddles. We're going to go north and clockwise. Okay, and then towers are going to spawn. There's going to be 2 tank towers. That's here, and 2 double towers. Okay, get there and there. The order that they spawn is completely random. The normal strat right now, the early strat right now, is both melee are going to take whichever double tower was north and counterclockwise, the first one that you find. Okay? That's what we're doing in this video. The better strategy is not that. The better strategy is in Fixed Stampede, melee 1 goes to the first one clockwise, melee 2 goes to the first one counterclockwise. But we won't go too far into that. What's going to happen here is whoever is closest to the middle of that tower is going to get this tether. If you get this tether, then you need to notice that I'm tethered to the wall over here. You need to stretch that tether and then go clockwise into the corner. And I just play it safe. See, this is bad because I'm losing uptime. And then you need to look at the cast. It's either going to be 4-way or 2-way. If it's 4-way, you need to stay in line with this line here, the corner, because someone in the center is going to be the 4 people in the center are going to be pointing it at the corners. Okay, and you need to get hit by that because it's shared damage. And I was afraid if I teleported, I'd go in front of him and die. So I just walked up. Okay. The other option for that was 2-way, where you would bait them east-west. And so instead of going straight to the boss, I'd go either, I guess in this example, it would be west. It's really simple. You have plenty of time to react to it. Crown is an AoE, and we're almost there. And the very last mechanic is going to be 3 party stacks. Ask your party how you're going to handle this. Most groups are having the whole party do the first stack, and then the tanks are going to handle the 2 afterwards. That was our plan in this video. That the plan didn't work, but you can just watch. So we're having the whole party take this. And it's a very long soak. A lot of damage. We are holding our 2 minutes for the last potion window. And then one of the tanks is supposed to take this. But in this example, both of them use their invulns on the second one. There's a miscommunication. Luckily, we noticed that, and in party, we just said, party stack. So we did a party stack for the last one. And then we got our last pot window aligned with our last 2 minutes. And we just killed the fight. It's very close in this one. The damage check in this fight is pretty rough this early on. But that's the fight. Again, I think Fixed Stampede is going to gain popularity because it's just a better strat. It's less random. It's more uptime for melee, which will help with the damage check. If this is helpful to you, let me know below. If it wasn't, I don't know why you're still here.